Hello and thank you for joining us on this Wednesday afternoon. I'm Jurnee Taylor and here's a look at some of the stories we're following today. A Little Rock family looking for answers while police investigate the deadly shooting of 2 teens. Now community members are calling for an end to gun violence. Plus, Israeli forces are locked in intense fighting with militants in Gaza. Now U.S. officials continue their efforts to get more aid to Palestinians. And tonight is the 4th Republican debate featuring 4 candidates. However, GOP frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, will skip it again. All of that and more coming up, but first a look at weather. Meteorologist Nathan Scott. It is hump day, and I'm so excited about it. Also today, we could start seeing changes in the weather. Good afternoon. Tell us more.
Good afternoon, Jurnee. It's a beautiful Wednesday around the area. Lots of blue sky across central Arkansas and really all across Arkansas. It is cooler out there compared to yesterday, though. We had that cold front make its way in, and the numbers are about 10 degrees cooler than what we saw this time yesterday. We're at 50 in Little Rock, Hot Springs, Russellville, 51 in Arkadelphia, 49 Searcy, and 48 in Clinton. Here's those 24-hour temperature differences, about 10 to as much as 14 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. The good news is we're not contending with those really gusty winds. The winds are pretty light, and they will stay light throughout the day just because high pressure is sitting right over us. Highs today where they should be for this time of year. Low to mid 50s can be expected, and tonight with mostly clear skies, we'll settle back down into the low to mid 30s. But as that high slides off to the east, we'll see warmer air on the backside, and temperatures tomorrow we're back up into the low to mid 60s. Changes do arrive just in time for the weekend. I'm talking about a good chance of showers and storms. I'll have more on that timing coming up.
We begin with a developing story out of Little Rock. Police have confirmed the victims in this weekend's deadly shootings. 13-year-old Dante Gurley and 14-year-old Naquelo Smith were found dead just after midnight on Sunday in the 1600 block of West 22nd Street. Smith's family said they filed a missing persons report, and police called back confirming his description matched a murder victim.
This is a shock to everybody, from us, his family, to his coaches, to his school. They don't feel real.
As family members plead for answers, community members are calling for an end to gun violence, forming the group Moms of Black Sons Standing Against Death.
Let's stop turning a blind eye to this. What can we do as a community? We have more power, but are we willing to use it, or are we just going to sit back and allow it to continue to happen?
LRPD say that there are no suspects, but this is an active investigation. They're also asking anyone with information to give them a call. The war between Israel and Hamas shows no signs of winding down. The Hamas-run health ministry says the Palestinian death toll has now surpassed 16,000. This comes as the U.S. is pledging millions more dollars of aid to Gaza. CBS's Ian Lee reports.
Street by street, house to house, Israeli forces push deeper into the heart of Khan Yunis. Gaza's second largest city is known as a Hamas stronghold. Military leaders say they're locked in the most intense fighting of the war. The United Nations is calling the situation in southern Gaza apocalyptic. Early Wednesday, a security guard shot in the air to disperse desperate Palestinians looting a shop. They're struggling to survive as airstrikes reduce entire neighborhoods to rubble. The U.S. has pledged an additional $21 million in humanitarian aid for the Palestinian territory, in part to help build a field hospital. In their hunt for Hamas, Israel Defense Forces say they uncovered the largest stash of weapons so far near a school in northern Gaza. But their mission to bring hostages home is paramount.
I missed you.
I missed you too, baby.
Freed Israeli hostage Mia Leinberg has been reunited with her parents. The teenager and her dog Bella spent more than 50 days in Hamas captivity.
As much as I am happy to be back, we're still not done. Everybody needs to do their part to bring everybody back.
More than 130 hostages are still being held in Gaza, including 8 Americans. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Well, in the presidential race, tonight's 4th Republican debate will feature 4 candidates, and the GOP frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, will skip it again. Experts expect former Ambassador Nikki Haley to try to outshine Florida Governor Ron DeSantis at tonight's 4th GOP primary debate in Alabama. But she and others still face daunting odds against Trump, who commands wide support in the party. In a town hall last night, Trump focused on President Biden. If elected, he pledged to enact sweeping executive power on day one, which Biden officials warned were the words of a possible dictator.
He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No, no, no, other than day one. We're closing the border and we're drilling. After that, I'm not a dictator."
Meanwhile, President Biden attended fundraisers in Boston where he told donors he's not sure if he would be seeking a second term if his predecessor wasn't in the race. In a THV 11 update, the Little Rock Board of Directors and Mayor Frank Scott Jr. making final decisions on the budget. They also received an update on the downtown master plan. THV 11's Ashley Godwin was at last night's meeting with the very latest details.
A clear vision for tomorrow, where you as a city want to be in, say, 10, 15, 20 years from now.
The Little Rock Downtown Master Plan. It's the first of its kind that the city will be able to look at for future goals and initiatives for the area.
Downtown is the epicenter of urban life, available to everybody in Arkansas.
For months, the contracting firm Sasaki has gathered feedback and analysis on downtown Little Rock from hundreds of people. Now they start to build the plan.
All of this is going to set us up for moving towards identifying specific short, medium, and long-term action items.
They say themes of open space, building up neighborhoods, and creating better transportation has emerged.
We know that nationally, people think of downtown Little Rock as a really great place, but in the city and regionally and around the state, it has more of a negative perception. And so using this plan to change the narrative is going to be important.
Now they will work to get the initial draft finished with more feedback and meetings expected. They hope a complete plan will be presented to the city by May of next year. Later in the meeting, the mayor and directors voted on the 2024 budget. It passed unanimously.
This has been a labor of love that you guys gotten us through.
But there was one last decision to be made. The directors vote to give themselves a pay raise.
At the end of the day, it's the will of the board and the majority, so I'm interested to see how the vote turns out.
The board voted 6-4, approving the new salary of $25,000.
Motion passes.
In Little Rock, Ashley Godwin, THV 11 News.
And the newly approved budget will include more code enforcement officers, animal control officers, and a pay increase for the police and fire departments.
Edepak is the world's largest producer of the fresh liquid carton fiber-based package. We produce about 14 billion in the world, over 70 markets.
Now, Elopak will soon be produced right here in Arkansas. Tuesday, city and state officials welcomed the packaging company from Norway to the port of Little Rock. Elopak not only promises more than 100 new jobs, they will also bring $70 million investments to build a new production facility. A move like this is one Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders hopes is a sign of more to come.
We're focusing on things like education, workforce development, and cracking down on crime so that this is the best place in the country and maybe even the world to live, to work, to raise a family, and to relocate your business.
The plant will be the first in the United States as the company expands beyond Europe, Canada, and Mexico. The Salvation Army's Red Kettle campaign is underway, and sadly this year the need for donations is greater, but donations are down. That's why we really need everyone to donate if they can. Our very own Scott Covert will be live at Bass Pro Shops at Little Rock outlets tonight, and whenever you see bell ringers throughout Central Arkansas, we hope you'll stop and spare some change or cash to help this life-changing cause. You can even donate by texting the word GIVE, that's G-I-V-E, to 501-376-1111, and it goes straight to the virtual kettle. Again, text the word GIVE to 501-376-1111. Flu cases and hospitalizations are on the rise. Coming up, more on why health officials say now is the time to protect yourself.
And the weather outside is delightful, but changes to arrive for the weekend. Showers and storms can be expected. Do we have the chance of severe weather here in the Natural State? I'll have those answers coming up.